here at EA Spring Break 2009. We're starting by having a look at Dead Space Extraction for the Wii. I'm joined by Steve Papoutsis, executive producer, who's here to tell us about it. So Steve, give us the rundown on Dead Space Extraction. How do you go about bringing a game like Dead Space that is very reliant on like these incredible graphics, this awesome atmosphere, and how do you go about bringing that game to the Wii?
Well, thanks for the kind words about Dead Space. You're absolutely right. One of the critical pieces of bringing a game like Dead Space to the Wii is actually making sure that we are delivering on the atmosphere, the visuals, the sound. And when we started out, that was a critical item for us to achieve. So what we've been doing is just been, looking at Dead Space, which we worked on, and figuring out exactly how we can deliver that on the Wii. And we've been doing that by just continuing to refine what we have and looking at it and really just working hard to make it look good, and so far I think we're nailing it. Hopefully you agree.
So this game, it's not a port, it's a prequel. It's staged before the events of Dead Space, but how far are we going back here with the story?
Well, Dead Space actually has a lot of different things going on. We had the animated feature and we had the comic series. So Extraction kind of plays in that space, right around Downfall and the comic series. And what we're doing actually as a prequel is we're kind of showing the moment of the infestation of the necromorphs. So we're going to start at essentially the moment when the marker is removed, and we're going to go from there all the way up to the Ishimura, and we're going to see where that takes us.
As far as characters go, are we going to see a lot of those same characters from the game, maybe Isaac Clarke and those?
No, Isaac Clarke is not going to make an appearance. Well, maybe he will. And as far as characters from the comic and from the animated feature, you may run across some of those people. So fans that remember some of the characters may in fact see some of them or hear maybe an audio log or see a video log with them.
So as far as the gameplay goes, it's a slightly different format from Dead Space. This is an on-rails shooter. Is that how you describe it?
Actually, thanks. I would describe it as a guided first-person experience. Okay. And the reason why I keep saying that is because I think what we're trying to do is something a little bit more than what some might call a rail shooter. For instance, in our game, we're not jumping out of the game to show you a cutscene. A lot of other games, go ahead and load up a cutscene. We don't. It's seamless. It's within the experience. We've also spent a lot of time and energy trying to create a camera that is very cinematic and makes you feel like you're in the middle of the experience. And beyond that, when you talk about rail shooters, a lot of people kind of think, okay, you point and shoot, and that's it. Well, with Dead Space Extraction, we're bringing over all the great mechanics from the original Dead Space, such as stasis, telekinesis, dismemberment, zero gravity. And we're using those in Extraction, which again we're hoping is evolving the genre and kind of creating our own type of game. So I like to call it a guided first-person experience.
So Isaac Clarke, he was an engineer, but he was a talented guy. He could do a lot of different things with that control scheme on PS3 and 360. How are you going to use the Wii controls in this game?
Well, another great question. That's another one of the things that when we started the game, we started it with a Wii remote and a nunchuck in our hand, because we didn't want to just map over the buttons from Dead Space. We wanted to create a game that actually felt like a Wii game from the ground up, because that's what we were building. So we did a lot of testing, we did a lot of design sessions where we just talked about what would feel natural. One of the biggest imperatives on the product is to make sure that the controls feel natural and they don't feel forced. We don't want to create a bunch of types of mechanics that make you have to do gestures that don't make sense. For instance, today we're going to look at the glowworm, and that is an analog to what you might expect with a similar type of device in real life. So we're really paying a lot of attention to that. We've done a lot of focus testing, and as gamers, we've just been playing it and playing it and playing it and refining it and refining it. So we've just been doing a lot of work on trying to make sure that the controls do feel natural and fun.
Is this going to be a solo experience like Dead Space, or are you going to be able to maybe bring in some more players?
Well, another good question. It's actually, the game is different than Dead Space in the sense that since it's during the outbreak of the infection, you actually see a lot of other people around you, whereas Isaac was kind of a little bit more isolated. He did have some people that came with him on the Kellion, but for a lot of the game, he was by himself. In our game, you're actually going to kind of assemble a party of people while you try to make your way to the Ishimura. So you will have a lot of other people around you and people to interact with inside of your party. And as far as playing with another person, yes, we do plan on having co-op. It's working now, and it's really fun.
All right, well, Steve, you've got me sold. When should we expect to see it in stores?
We're looking to ship the game in fall 2009.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.